Good morning and welcome to Stock Invest, your go-to channel for market insights before the opening bell. Today, we dive into key inflation data from the United States and Europe, plus the latest trade policy changes shaking global markets. Investors are closely watching the upcoming release of the United States Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, the Federal Reserve's preferred gauge of inflation. Expectations are steady, but any surprises could impact interest rate decisions. The core personal consumption expenditures is anticipated to hold firm at 0.3% monthly, keeping the annual inflation rate near 2.9%. However, rising tariffs under the Trump administration may be pushing consumer prices higher than expected. Last year, the Federal Reserve cut rates by a full percentage point, but paused this year due to inflation concerns tied to tariffs. Market speculation points to a possible rate cut coming in September to balance growth and inflation. Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller has publicly supported starting rate cuts next month, with expectations for multiple reductions to bring borrowing costs closer to a neutral level. Meanwhile, United States stock futures show a slight dip ahead of the inflation data release, though major indices remain on track for solid monthly gains, reflecting cautious optimism among investors. The S&P 500, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones all closed at or near record highs recently, boosted by strong earnings and steady economic data despite global uncertainties. Investors will also keep an eye on corporate earnings reports from companies like Ulta Beauty, Ambarella, and Affirm Holdings, which could influence market sentiment today. In trade news, the Trump administration has ended the de minimis exemption, which previously allowed duty-free imports of packages valued under $800. This move aims to combat drug trafficking but could raise costs for consumers. The removal of this exemption is expected to increase the price of imported goods, especially from China, which accounted for a large majority of these shipments in 2024. Across the Atlantic, European inflation data is also in focus, with preliminary consumer price indices from France, Spain, and Germany due for release. The European Central Bank recently maintained its key interest rate at 2%, but internal debates persist over the inflation outlook and the economic impact of United States tariffs on the Eurozone. Oil prices are slightly lower this morning, but poised for weekly gains amid concerns over Russian supply disruptions and the winding down of the United States summer driving season. Despite weekly gains, oil contracts face monthly losses driven by increased production from Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, highlighting the complex forces influencing commodity markets. That wraps up our pre-market briefing. For more updates and in-depth analysis, do not forget to press the notification bell and subscribe to Stock Invest. Stay informed and trade smart today.